Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English listening practice video. Today, we will practice English by listening and repeating. You can read the captions and speak aloud along with the video. English becomes easier when you practice every day. Even small sentences help a lot. Let's start with a simple paragraph. Repeat after me.
Part 1. The early morning hours. Waking up and getting started. The first stirring of the day begins quietly. The digital clock on the bedside table glows dimly, marking the hour just before 6 a.m. A woman, let's call her Amelia, begins her routine. She often wakes up naturally, a minute or two before the alarm is programmed to sound. She stretches languidly, her body gradually adjusting to the transition from deep rest. Her initial moments are always reserved for quiet reflection, mentally preparing for the tasks that lie ahead. She then finally silences the persistent ring of her alarm, sitting up slowly on the edge of the bed. The first essential step is always to draw back the curtains. She welcomes the early morning light, regardless of the weather. Whether it is a bright, clear day or a gloomy, overcast one, she needs that visual connection to the outside world to truly feel awake. She then proceeds to the bathroom, splashing cold water on her face to shake off the last remnants of sleep. This brisk action instantly invigorates her. Next, she brushes her teeth meticulously, focusing on the fresh, clean feeling. While doing this, she might briefly check her phone for urgent overnight notifications, though she tries to resist diving into her work emails until later. She then quickly changes into her comfortable workout clothes, often choosing brightly colored leggings and a loose t-shirt to boost her motivation. Amelia has a disciplined approach to her health. She starts her physical activity with a brief session of gentle yoga, moving through the poses fluidly and deliberately. This is followed by 20 minutes of more intense cardio, perhaps cycling on her stationary bike or following a fast-paced online exercise video. The session always concludes with deep, calming stretches to cool down her muscles. Following her workout, she takes a long, hot shower. The steam and warmth are a luxurious comfort after her physical exertion. She meticulously washes her hair and quickly applies her daily skincare routine, focusing on hydration and sun protection. She then spends a few minutes contemplating her wardrobe for the day, selecting a professional yet comfortable outfit appropriate for her workplace environment. Part 2. Breakfast and preparation. Fueling the body and organizing the mind. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee soon begins to fill the apartment. Amelia grinds the beans herself, preferring the robust flavor of a dark roast. She carefully measures the coffee grounds and water, a ritual that provides a meditative start to her morning. For breakfast, she prefers something nourishing and quick. She often prepares a bowl of creamy oatmeal, mixing in fresh berries and a sprinkle of chopped nuts for texture and nutrients. She eats slowly, savoring the food and the quietude of the early morning. While eating, she might read a chapter from a physical book or browse a news website to stay current on global affairs. Her next focus shifts to organization. She empties the dishwasher, puts away the clean dishes, and quickly wipes down the kitchen counters, leaving the space tidy for the rest of the day. She prepares her lunch, usually a simple salad or leftovers from the previous evening's dinner, carefully placing it into a reusable container. She then turns her attention to her work bag. She double-checks that her laptop, charger, and essential notebooks are neatly packed. She finds her house keys and places them in a dedicated pocket, ensuring they are easily accessible when she returns later. She gathers her coat and scarf, checking the weather forecast one last time to confirm her choice of outerwear. Just before leaving, she takes a final look around the apartment. She adjusts the thermostat, confirms the windows are securely closed, and waters a small collection of indoor plants. She checks her appearance in the full-length mirror, offering a small, encouraging smile to her reflection. With a deep breath, she is ready.
Part 3. The commute and workplace. Transitioning to professional life. Stepping out of the building, Amelia notices the brisk morning air. She walks briskly towards the nearest public transport station. The streets are already bustling with activity, people walking their dogs, other commuters hurrying along, and delivery trucks making their early rounds. Upon reaching the station, she joins the throng of people waiting on the platform. She pulls out her e-reader and immediately becomes engrossed in her current novel, using the travel time efficiently. When the train arrives, she skillfully navigates the crowd, finds a standing spot near the door, and holds firmly onto the overhead rail. The train journey is loud and crowded, but she remains focused on her book, sometimes glancing up to observe the changing landscape or the various expressions on her fellow commuters' faces. Eventually, she reaches her stop, quickly exits the train, and walks the final few blocks to her office building. At the office, she greets the security guard with a courteous nod and proceeds to the lift. She arrives at her floor, waves a friendly hello to the first colleague she encounters, and settles down at her desk. Her first order of business is to switch on her computer and check her calendar, mentally outlining the structure of her workday. The morning is dominated by focused work. She answers a barrage of emails, addresses urgent requests, and prepares detailed documents for an upcoming team review. She maintains a high level of concentration, only occasionally pausing to take a sip of water or jot down a reminder note. She attends a brief but intense virtual meeting, actively contributing ideas and taking thorough notes. At midday, she takes her mandatory lunch break. She steps away from her desk, seeking out a quiet spot on a bench outside or in the break room. She eats her prepared meal, often finding a moment to engage in light, casual conversation with a coworker about non-work-related topics, such as a recent movie or holiday plans. This brief pause helps to refresh her mind for the afternoon ahead.
Part 4. The afternoon and the journey home. Productivity and transition. The afternoon at the office often involves more collaborative tasks. Amelia attends a longer project discussion, where she listens carefully to the input of others and presents her own analysis clearly and concisely. She then spends a considerable amount of time working on a complex spreadsheet, meticulously checking every detail to ensure accuracy. The environment remains dynamic, with phones ringing softly and keyboards clicking rhythmically. As the afternoon progresses, she tackles her final tasks, determined to complete the most pressing items before the end of the day. She organizes her desk, files away loose papers, and updates her to-do list for the following morning. This ritualistic tidying helps her to mentally transition out of work mode. Around 5:30, she saves her final documents and logs off her computer. She repacks her bag, collects any personal items, and bids a warm goodbye to the remaining colleagues in her section. Her walk back to the station is more relaxed than the morning hustle. On her commute home, the atmosphere on the train is different. People are less rushed and often seem more tired or reflective. She chooses a different form of entertainment this time, listening to a podcast on history or current events through her headphones. The background sounds of the train provide a steady rhythm to her listening. Before reaching her final destination, she stops briefly at a small grocery store near her apartment. She navigates the aisles, carefully selecting fresh vegetables and a few household staples, placing them in her reusable shopping bags. This small errand ensures she has everything she needs for the evening meal.
Part 5. Evening and winding down. Rest and rejuvenation. Finally, Amelia arrives back at her apartment. The feeling of home is immediately soothing. Her first action is to change out of her professional attire and into comfortable loungewear. She puts away her groceries, storing them neatly in the fridge and pantry. The next hour is dedicated to preparing dinner. She chops vegetables, marinates protein, and uses various cooking techniques, sautéing, roasting, or simmering, to create a healthy, flavorful meal. The focus and precision required for cooking are a welcome change from the day's mental strain. She eats her dinner slowly, perhaps watching a short entertaining video or simply enjoying the food in silence. After the meal, she systematically cleans the kitchen, washing the pots and pans and wiping down all surfaces. She believes strongly in the principle of closing the kitchen before relaxing for the evening. Her evening relaxation involves several possibilities. Sometimes she dedicates time to a creative hobby, perhaps sketching or working on a small craft project. On other nights, she settles onto the sofa with a warm blanket, continuing the novel she started on the commute or watching a feature film. She might also spend a little time calling a friend or family member, catching up on their lives and sharing anecdotes from her day. The final phase of her day begins around 10 o'clock. She prepares for bed by packing her gym bag for the next morning. She then goes through her evening skincare ritual, a slower, more deliberate process than her morning routine. She sets her alarm for the following day, ensuring the time is correct. She climbs into bed, adjusts her pillows, and opens her book once more. She reads until her eyelids feel heavy and the words start to blur. Placing the book down and turning off the light, she settles under the covers. The apartment is completely silent. She closes her eyes, mentally reviewing the day's successes and letting go of any lingering stresses. She breathes deeply and evenly, transitioning into a state of quiet rest, ready for the cycle of the new day to begin again tomorrow.
Thank you for listening and practicing English with us today. Keep repeating the sentences aloud. Try to read captions while listening. Practice every day to improve your fluency. Even small steps make a big difference. Enjoy learning English in your daily life. Keep observing, speaking, and listening. Soon, you will speak English more confidently. Don't forget to subscribe to English Talk Time for more videos. See you in the next practice session.